So while everyone's talking about the new map changes for Season 4, I've got my eyes on a few skins that could potentially benefit from these map pool changes. Allow me to explain. So Season 4 for Premiere and the subsequent patch that will come with it is pretty much inevitable right now. The last season dropped in July and the previous season dropped in January, so we can only assume they will continue their 6-month new season release. We are right on schedule. It could be today. If it's not today, it'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Doesn't matter, it just gives us more time. What matters is that the content patch every single time without fail moves money. Just a matter of can you find it and can you benefit from it. Now there are two main ways. The obvious ones that everyone's talking about and a little bit of a speculative one. But the plays that nobody's focusing on are the ones that stand to make you the most. Stick around to see where the true upside's hiding. Right, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way first because yes, the map changes do matter. And you should be positioned. I'm calling these obvious for a reason though. It's because every other video you watch will tell you the same thing about these map changes. Now when Train came back into the game last year, Valve added it to the reserve pool first, let it marinate in competitive for a few months before adding it to Premiere and then the active duty map pool. So it could be reasonably assumed that Cash will follow the same playbook when it's added. Right, we've seen the leaks, the updates, it's coming. So if I had to guess, that means either Anubis or Vertigo is coming back. Now, Valve did ask for arabesque art. I know that's not exactly Egyptian, however, that could signal a Anubis collection coming in. But on the other hand, I was trying out the retake game mode a couple of nights ago, and I noticed that they have Vertigo in the main map pool. It's just a little odd to me why they would have it there with the most played maps. It leads me to think that they may bring Vertigo back for the next 6 months, as opposed to Anubis. I guess maybe also the spy tech theme that they were asking for in the armory could lead to Vertigo, but who knows. Regardless, it's going to be one of those two. And we'll see Cash come back in the competitive map pool, but probably in the reserves for the first 6 months. Now I say that because every single season, one map gets removed and another is brought in. The map that gets removed is the least played map in the previous major. Overpass had the lowest pick rate by a pretty large margin, so that's been their pattern. If they follow it, there's your answer, Overpass. But my gut tells me something else. I want to believe they remove Ancient. Firstly, it's been in the active duty pool forever. It's the longest map in the pool with Inferno, Nuke, and Mirage. Now, call me crazy, but it ain't as good as those three maps, nor will it ever be, probably. But that's opinion based. Two, we spoke about this in our most recent video. Some of the guns in the Ancient collection saw a price pump, and we've had a lot of price action in recent weeks that leads us to believe that someone knows something about something. So we can't totally discount that price movement. But again, that's speculative. And lastly, they released Ancient Night version a few months ago. So part of me wants to believe that they take it out of the map pool for a few months, refine the nighttime version, such that it could be implemented back with the night version in Season 6 or Season 5, whatever. So let's position for these map pool changes potentially. If Ancient gets removed, the Ancient collection is already discontinued. So all the souvenir packages have their supply temporarily stopped until it comes back later on in the future, which at that point it may get its own brand new collection. That means supply stops, and when there's no souvenir guns coming in, that means people will go back to the base guns, try to use them to trade up and stuff like that. So the two plays there would be the Tech 9 Blast from the Past. It has the best float cap in its range. I believe it's a blue, and it also just looks good as a play skin. The second one, I've talked about this one for a while, P90 Run and Hide. The only way to trade up to the M4 Welcome to the Jungle is the P90 or the AK Panthera Anka. They both have a 0-1 float cap, so they're equal there. However, the AK is just way more expensive due to its merit as a play skin. So the P90 is the obvious play there. And it stands to make the most, which I'll talk about in a moment. Now, if Overpass gets removed, then we're good. We should be well positioned for this. It's an armory collection. We should be buying the Overpass 2024 collection right now. I've spoken about it ad nauseum at this point. So honestly, you shouldn't even have to do much here. Maybe a few souvenir packages. However, I would just buy the skins in the armory. And as we'll talk about later again, the AUG Eye of Zappums, that'll be my play, or the AUG Krakow in Factory New. The Cash collection, if it does get brought back in the next update, if you have any items in the previous Cash collection, the one that is now discontinued, I would most certainly sell the gun on the announcement of the map being brought back. After that, the hype will die down, and we'll probably get a new collection alongside them. So the prices you see right now will probably be the peak for the previous Cash collection. Now that's the obvious play. Let's talk about what the other videos are missing. Now, patch notes, believe it or not, don't just talk about skins, they also talk about the game itself. But what about weapons that are one patch, one magazine size change from being the new meta gun? Now, off-meta weapon skins are typically undervalued. The Negev Mjolnir, for example, is $4,000 because it trades up to the AUG. It's now $4,000 because people like to use it in game, because no one uses the fucking Negev in game. But if the Negev was a popular gun in game, that gun would be 10 grand, like that. So that 4 grand and every other off-meta weapon gets their valuation completely from its mechanics as a trade-up filler. They're priced on what they are, not what they could be. And their max potential comes from gameplay changes. We were just talking about the Ancient Collection. The P90 Run and Hide is a better investment than the AK Panthera Anka because they're both equally good trade-up fillers. The AK is the play skin though. But if the P90 gets buffed just a little bit and people start to use it more, the odds of the P90 moving to the AK's price are much, much higher than the AK doubling from where it is already right now. And that's because the gun will be in demand as a play skin, and when the prices are unequal, people will still use the P90 as a trade-up filler, which means the P90 stands more to gain. Because now its value comes from 2 places. Merit as a play skin, and merit as a trade-up filler. So 2 guns that I think have the best chance of becoming meta in a short time span are the AUG and the MP7. The MP7 is closer than I think a lot of people think. I saw it be used a few times in the most recent major, and this one doesn't even need a buff necessarily. They just need the MP9 to be nerfed, and the MP7 goes right in there. And China's been pumping the MP7 recently. So if you buy into a skin and it just goes up for no fucking reason, cool, you can sell it right there. And if a patch does happen in which the MP7 gets buffed, even better. My choice right now, the MP7 Cirrus from the glove case. Good float cap, and it's pretty much undervalued compared to all other blues in the case. And if China keeps pumping, they could realistically hit this skin because it's in such a rare case as well. For the AUG, I say go for the kill 2 birds with 1 stone play and go for the AUG Eye of Zapums in the Overpass collection. It does have the best float cap, and the demand for purples in the Overpass collection will always be higher because the AKB the Monster has a 0 to 0.8 float cap, meaning that you need good inputs to get a good output. So I'm not telling you to go all in on these skins. That'd be insane. These are speculative plays and thus small positions. Just buy nice investments for each. Just buy a nice investment for each gun in the game. That should be your goal. And that's to hedge yourself because China just pumps random shit. But they might pump a Galil one day, they might pump a Scout one day, they might pump an MP9 the other day. We don't know, we don't have the best idea of what to do. We could have an idea of what they're going to do, but it's best to just cover all your bases. That way if you have everything and they eventually pump one of yours, you're good. And if the gun becomes meta and China doesn't even pump it, you win off of that merit alone. Now, if you like that idea, I have a video in which I give you a full loadout of investment skins. It was posted around 3 weeks ago, so it's a little bit outdated. However, some of the plays will still be good. I'll be doing that once a month, so you can expect another video like that in the next week or so. As always, thank you guys, and I will see you.